Everybody, this is Edward back with another video, another episode. Everybody hates black men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. I'm gonna let y'all get in here. Just gonna see this as kind of a primer. I'll probably go on arts today, but there's a video I actually literally just came across. I could have broke it down, but I just want to play it in front of you all. I want y'all to hear it. My computer's actually having an issue, so I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it on my iPad so you all can hear it. I want y'all to hear this crap because this is the type of stuff that black men are really up against. And this is the type of delulu stuff y'all dealing with. I've often told you all that women only really respond to real tangible consequences. Everything else is just bunk. And this is going to be an exercise in really establishing just that. So I hope y'all doing well. What this video is, in case you don't know, is we'll get into it. We'll get into it because I don't want to spoil the surprise. But the ones that get me are not even the ones that necessarily get real loud or get real out of pocket. It's really the ones, you know how they say, I'm not even angry anymore. And I've literally seen about 10 seconds of this video, but I already know where this video is going to go. And so it's going to be a good little breakdown. I actually low-key wish you could see this sister. She's not ugly sister, very normal looking black woman. I believe she's a truck driver. No, she's not butch like you think it is. But we're going to break this down. So let me know if you can hear me.
So I wanted to clear something up. There are a lot of black men who voted for...
Press 1 if you can hear me. And this is really for a lot of black men that think this stuff can be salvaged. And here's my thing. I want to make this very clear. It's not that I necessarily believe it can't be salvaged. What my issue is I don't believe you're willing to do what needs to be done to actually do it. You know, in order to save the black community, you are going to have to be willing to do some Thanos level stuff. And you saw how in Infinity War, how you're going to have to be willing to do some moderate Uchiha type of shit. Some Obito Uchiha type of shit. You're Toby. You are going to have to do some shit that you niggas cannot even fathom doing if you actually want to save the black community. Now, what you think that is, you can use your imagination. But this idea that you're going to talk women into acting right is you're just as delusional as these chicks are. And usually what that's born out of is that's usually born out of denialism. And so generally what happens with a lot of black men is black men either are completely unaware of their own environment, their own social environment, their own social environment, maybe their physical environment. But when it comes to things you actually need in order to lead, a certain kind of mind's eye you need to approach, either you don't have it, or if you do have it, that's not really something you're really worried about. You worry about getting yours and getting mine. And to a certain extent, a lot of people have to be that way. But usually what both of those things lead to is an inability in order to politic with other black men, work with other black men. And then so when you go up against other groups, either you have to, in a way, submit to what their program is in order for you to get what you need to get, or you end up getting railroaded by other programs, other people's programs or other people's situations. Because at the end of the day, no matter how good you are, you're still going up against an organized group and people that don't necessarily play by the same rules. Because ultimately, the rules that they may play against each other when it comes to the tug and war of life is not necessarily what they believe in doing with you. And so what happens is, in order for a lot of black men to deal with this or reconcile this, they fall into certain delusions, certain misunderstandings of what manhood actually is. They start, rather than thinking in the long term, they think in the short term. And so this makes it so you develop this complex or this need for women to tell you who you are. Because at the end of the day, you depend on them to kind of keep you in that so-called dream world. And so ultimately, this video that I'm going to play, I don't play this just to beat up on her, because she's not even going to come off out of pocket or anything or crazy. But the words that she's going to use, I already know is going to be out of pocket, because this is a worldview you're dealing with. And these women believe this worldview, they're drawing it from how they feel, which means reality doesn't matter, facts don't matter. It's how you feel about what's presented that matters. And in that way, the only thing that really fixes that is a very visceral physical response. And when I say physical response, I am not talking about putting your hands on women. I am talking about a physical environmental change. Just like how as humans, what happens when we're cold? We put on more clothes. When we are hot, we put on less clothes. When we wear different colors, because black absorbs heat. These are physical responses to the environment. When we're low on resources, there's a certain response. That's how women respond. Talking to them and getting them to find religion, you'll get some of them, but the problem is we're dealing with see, what a lot of dudes don't understand is there's a conversation that women are having in their head that has nothing to do with you. I've told you before, and I'm going to tell you again. Women are listening to music. I'm not even just talking about media. Music that has a certain narrative that we all know what that narrative is. At best, you're listening to a Keisha Cole, Mary J. Blige. We already know what that story is and where both of those chicks are, in their relationships now. Or you're listening to a city girl message. Then you got to take into account what they're dealing with on social media, where you've seen Donald Trump be able to completely get back to the presidency off of social media, which Democrats didn't underestimate it. This is a phone you're constantly hearing and seeing. And these are silos that these people are in, that they are not fact checking. People can say what they want to about us. We have had to prove what we have said is true. This is one reason why BGS goes about it the way that he does. We have to prove what we're saying, because people have a knee-jerk reaction, even other men, to say we are wrong or we are the actual problem or there is no problem. So it's not the same. The women are allowed to believe what they want to believe because it pays people money, wealth extraction, and it keeps them compliant. That's not the same thing with the men. So it's not the same thing. But you need to understand that when it comes to the five senses, sight, smell, touch, hearing, and taste, the four senses are completely dominated. What these chicks see, whether it's on video, on that phone, on media, what they hear, whether it's on that phone, on music, what they touch. And then you got to look at the emotional factor as far as how they feel, which is built up over time. Then you got to understand a lot of these chicks did not have dads in the home. Having men around and dads in the house that they got to deal with and reconcile with every day is not the same thing. And even if they don't, it's so many chicks that are on that tip, like gravity, they literally draw it in. You see that with Sky Jackson, although there's a lot more cultural things going on there that's not really being highlighted. So I wanted to say all that to give y'all opportunity to get in here before I start really putting this out here. Let me see. Yeah, and so with black men, I say all that landing to say this, and make sure y'all support the Cash App. I say and hit that. This I say all that to say this. Dudes think when you look at a pie chart and you just say, okay, with all of this 24/7 outside of, like, these chicks are dreaming about this stuff. Then you got to add in the type of men that most of these chicks are sexually attracted to, which is also sexually attracted to, by the way, which is also a factor because that's also who they're imprinted by. And so those are the men that they mainly see. Those are the men that they see clearly have a certain archetype, which is why a lot of these chicks are on all men got kids, all men got this, because this is what they're sexually imprinted on, which is this is what they're aware of more than they otherwise would be. They have a certain crystal clear view of who you are as a man. Even though if you talk to them and bring the reality of it, they'll wake up and say, oh yeah, I know, but that this is where they settle with. So when Obie Allen or whoever wants to have this purple pill talk or this blue pill talk, which blue pill talk is just like, understand, most blue pill talk is just you acknowledge. Blue pill talk is pretty much you agree with everything they say. Men are bad, men are the problem, men need to do better. And then that's the blue pill side. The purple pill side is more of a back and forth, but you still want some at the end of the day, men need to do it. But then it's like, what do men need to do? Seriously. You know, what do men need to do? And this is why I often come back to, they got to date other people. Because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with men. It's that they don't want to be black. Now, this chick is not a particular ugly chick. I'll probably put the thumbnail on her. She has looks like she's, I don't know what she's doing. She's got a headset, whatever, doing some kind of delivery work with a, a orange construction vest on. This is not an ugly chick. This chick kind of got, a poor woman Sanaa Lathan kind of look going with a hat. So basically the title of this is called Smart Black Women. Smart is in quotations. Smart black women are still divested from black men, no matter how y'all voted. Deuces and this. And so what I say to that is somehow y'all are divested from black men, but y'all are asking black men for shit. That's what I don't get. You got women that literally are with black men, got black boyfriends, got black husbands, and they listen to this content. You got content creators that got black male baby daddies, and they make this content. You got content creators that are married to black men and make this content. That's what makes this stuff so funny. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. I got like a hood setup, but because I want to show, because a lot of dudes, it's denialism that you dudes are dealing with. It is 2024. When we first got started with Jada Black, me, SWP and all that, a lot of this stuff wasn't proven. We've had women snitch and tell on themselves constantly now. It's an everyday basis. And yet you still got dudes or people that are on some, it ain't that bad. Now they want to blame social media, even though people are crashing out in real life. At that point, it's a denialism situation. And my thing is, for anybody that tries to talk like they're trying to improve the situation, like you claim to be pro-black, and act like this doesn't happen, that means you're really not interested in solving a problem. You're just interested in speaking to some shit. Because at the end of the day, and SWP did a very good video a couple days ago that y'all should check it out, is at the end of the day, man, no matter how, when we talk about this quote-unquote white supremacy fight, the reality is most of your women are white supremacists. Most of your women buying the system. Even Cynthia G did like a poll where it was multiple, I think 20,000 people that responded, and they said they believe in white supremacy. Is that all? No, but that's a good sample size. And the reality is, you have a lot of women that's what they are on. They may not be just straight KKK, but they are on. They are not comfortable with. They do not want black male leadership. And the reality is, if you don't want black male leadership, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about at that point. That's it. Talking about white supremacy is kind of bump in that way, because for real. But anyway, he said, nerd guy said, at work I walked in on a black woman, and one of the black women hate black men streams. I forgot the name, something room. I don't know. The name doesn't matter. But because a big reason why they have to blame black men, because blaming black men takes the edge off. You got to think of blaming black men like alcohol. Blaming black men in our space, there's accountability here. Notice in our space, we're just talking about, if you want to get here, this is what needs to happen. Because from an individual standpoint, the solutions are easy. Date outside your race, intercultural date, which is date other cultures. And then you basically pad that out with whatever chicks you're dealing with, and then self-improve. Stop being guilty because it ain't your fault and ain't got nothing to do with you, what they grew up with in their own bloodline, their own situation. And stop letting them control your ego. And when I say stop controlling your ego, what I'm saying is do not be afraid. Do not allow them to use sexual leverage on you. If you notice how with the age gap situation that black women never got nothing to say when black women are dating white men. They're like 20, 30 years older. Even Malika Andrews, she's 29 years old. That white Jewish Jew she married is 42. But if that was a black situation, it'd be a problem. You got these chicks having a problem with Megan Good. Notice how, whether it's Jonathan Owens, DDG, Megan Good, Jonathan Majors, it's always there's a problem. If a black woman is with a black man, it's a problem. There's like these anti-black love chicks, and they always try to make these little excuses, but the common denominator is these are black dudes or these are black dudes or black adjacent dudes. And you're starting to see a couple of women push back on that because they're starting to notice the pattern. And it's femcel behavior. You don't see dudes really going in on situations like that, not like that. If it's a situation that shouldn't be repeated, then yeah. But you, like, for instance, even with the Jonathan Major situation, we know where Jonathan is, we know where Megan is. It's an equally yoked situation. So anyway, let's play this video and let's get this over with. It's a 7-minute video, so let's go.
Kamala, and so I wanted to clear something up. There are a lot of black men who voted for Kamala, and they believe that voting for Kamala was somehow going to fix the gender divide between black men and black women. And I'm here to tell you that that's not going to happen, okay? There is no way possible y'all could be this delusional that you thought, oh, we see the percentages, we see the numbers, we see so many black.
So what she's essentially saying is she's going to feel how she feels no matter what the fuck you do. Now, she may argue that you're not doing enough, but she's going to feel that what she's clearly said is and I'm glad she said that, because what she is saying is if Kamala would have won, she still would have been divested. That's what I'm getting out of what she's saying. 78% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. A lot of black men stayed down, which means it doesn't matter what you do. And I've been saying this. People can say I'm putting words in their mouth, but when you have kids, Cam Newton has kids with all black women, it doesn't matter what you do because it's not about you. But just to stick on this topic rather than taking this and extracting everything out of it, she is pretty much saying you voting for Kamala Harris to the extent that you did, it doesn't matter. She's saying you are delusional for believing it does. Now, one thing black men have to get out of too is they got to start believing these chicks. Stop allowing these chicks to, oh, well, she's being emotional. She's blowing off steam. It's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. When you look at where black boys can't read and write, and quite frankly, black women young black girls are not doing better than black boys. This idea that black boys are off the chain with what's going on, but black females, if you compare black females now to black females in the recent past, it's not an upward trajectory. It's a downward trajectory if you look at certain metrics. If you look at wealth creation, employment, how much they're making, it is not an upward trend. It's a lower trend. So even if you measure it that way, this idea that black women are just doing better and better and better is not really the case. Not to the extent that people want to talk. But again, she's made it very clear that you voting for Kamala, if you voted for Kamala to support black women, then you basically, that ain't enough. And if Kamala would win, I'm very sure she would have been on that. So all these dudes, all this crap that dudes jumped out the window to prove, because that's what it is. Dudes fall over their feet to make these like declarations or these gestures to prove they're for black women because they feel guilty about all the squawking and yapping black women do, or they feel like they have contributed by not holding men accountable. You're stupid. She's telling you this.
Black men wanted to vote for Kamala or did vote for Kamala. So there are allies now. All of a sudden overnight. Now there are allies. Now they give a damn about us. Let's stick together, right? Absolutely the fuck not. Okay? I'm going to tell you guys why.
And again, they're allies like these white bitches. So what I would ask her is, who is your ally? These white women that y'all been kissing their ass? Or that you have not held other black women accountable in your political office, in the black female industrial complex that kisses these white women's asses? Those women, those are your allies? What about these Hispanic chicks that every chance they get, they want to flip into a paper bag contest? Black men have been in the corner of black women more than any other demographic. Period. Regardless if you like black men or not. So all this ally bullshit, most of you bitches owe a black man, owe black men somewhere, some way. Most of you chicks owe black men, owe some black men something. For instance, Kamala Harris would be nothing without Willie Brown. Kamala Harris probably wouldn't even hit Willie Brown's radar had she not been with Montel Williams. Or Montel Williams kept her name out there. She dealt with black men the whole way through up until she got with this Doug dude and she needed to make a political run to connect to certain networks. But black men are sitting here bragging like black women do. We're on that Batman or Dark Knight at the end. I never thanked you and you'll never have to, because how your women view you is how you think how you see yourself. Shout out to Andre. Cam ain't shit, but I heard he has all his kids SMH. I mean, I don't know why you're saying Cam ain't. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's go.
Why black men are still not our allies. And I'm not saying that there are not some black men individually that are allies with black women.
Okay, individually. Okay, she's leaving the door open. But when even that language, that ally language, that is some stupid fucking language. They're not our allies. Motherfucker, we deal with you at 85% of the cap. Nobody puts up with the bullshit that we put up with you. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck y'all... Hell, I make an argument that black men are more allies to black women and, truth be told, other black women. Because outside of you all pulling up in order to have a problem with black men, you all don't fucking like each other. The only time you really see black women really squadding up together is when they're trying to maintain quote-unquote control of the dynamic between black men and black women, which, by the way, the reason you need to maintain the control is because there's resources you clearly draw from black men to black women. Let me give you an example of how this works. When you look at Europe, Europe has to maintain control of Africa. This is why China is a problem, because their way of life can't exist without Africa as a resource farm. That's true for the United States, but it's not as true for the United States as it is true for Europe. We will definitely take a significant hit, but we will not just drop off the map like Europe would. That's why it's much more of a significant threat for Russia and China to be in Africa than it is for Europe. Then it is a much more direct threat. It'll be a problem for us, make no mistake. That's the relationship between black men and black women. Black women have this thing where they think, like, for instance, just like how white people, when immigrants come to Europe, invade the world, invite the world. I heard SWP say that he got that from somebody else. People talk about immigrants. This is the same relationship between black men and black women. Black women have this thing about we don't exist without them. BZS talks about that, what people used to do in the past in order to protect our livelihood. That's not a millennial existence, though. That's not a millennial, and I would argue that's not really a Gen X existence. That may be true for his generation, granted, but that's definitely not a millennial existence where black men would just be hemmed up if it just wasn't black women. That's not, and this chick's a millennial. That's not the relationship we have. That's not the relationship we have, and I can make an argument that's the relationship Gen X has with their women either. We don't need you. This thing where we needed you to be something and behind everybody, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And so this thing about allies and women have these, I keep telling y'all about narratives. Narratives. They have this narrative that we need to be their ally and we're their enemy. There's not a bitch out here that's got some shit that ain't no black man was involved in it somehow, some way. It is very, very small percentage of black women that they just came up completely independent of black men helping them out. somewhere. But yet in their mind, black men are just useless. Well, my thing, if we are that useless, why are you still around? Why don't you deal with anybody? Because if we're that useless, then clearly anybody else is a step up, right?
But we know that the number is not that high, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and disregard the ones that are.
So when we say the number's not that high, what stats are you showing up to show that? 85% of black men are married to black women that are married. I would argue that number is pretty solidly up there for black men that are having kids. Where are you where are you? You keep saying the number is not that high. When I hear numbers not that high, so let's say 33% is a quote unquote not that high number. So you're really telling me that you feel an observable world with 33% or what were you saying, 50% is not that high? You're telling me you live in an observable world where 50% of black men don't fuck with black women? In UK, 50% of black men don't fuck with black women. They feel that shit. This is what I'm talking about. So when people say, "Oh, well, black men are delusional," no, delusional means when you have facts. Let's go through the definition. So for people, a delusion is a fixed. That's the key word. A fixed false belief that persists even when there is evidence to the contrary. Delusions can be essential, but okay, a fixed belief. Niggas ain't shit is a fixed belief that black women have that the evidence is clearly proved as a group is not true. Most black men are in jail. That's never been true. The most, it's never been half. It's never been 60%. The worst it's been is 33% of black men have been to jail or have been in prison. And that was because of racism. She just said that black men are not allies of black women. Black men are not allies of black women. 77 to 78% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. That flies in the face of that. You just added 2 black female senators. There are now 50-50, 2 black female senators. Also, Brooks, I believe her name's Angela, and Rochester Blunt. I forget her name. In Delaware, you have 2 that black men voted in. That in Maryland, technically Hogan probably should have won. These are competitive, at least in the other ones, are competitive races. You have all these black female mayors, these wave of black female mayors. You have never one time, other than like Stacey Abrams, who was running for governor, which now it ain't, black people are not the majority in, just so we're clear, what percentage of Georgia is black? 30% of Georgia is black. What percentage of Maryland is black? I don't know what this is. You're gonna mess up my chat GBT. Hold on. 29% of 29%. So 30%. These are not places where we have the majority. Yet she won, which means you would have needed 22% of Delaware's population. These are not places where black people have the majority, which means we would have had to vote in heavy concentrations. You cannot win without that. Shout out to KMS for the $20. So to sit here and say all these wave of politicians, all these wave all these wave of black female politicians just you know, those black men have to be supporting black women in heavy percentages in order for that to work. There's 29, there's including yeah, so there's 57 black women in the Congress. You don't get this without black women serving black men. And this is why it's important, because the argument that I would have with her is we're in a matriarchy. Everything she's saying is predicated on the idea that black women are somehow, we have this leverage over them. That's not true. It's not true. Shout out to KMS for the $20. You are right. Black women in aggregate. I'll go step further and say black women as a relationship option is in hospice. It's over. Black women know it. They just looking for comfort. Everyone else before they cry. I mean, a lot of times, like, the thing about it is when people, like, I could go into that hospice stuff. Men accept that we die alone. That's why that doesn't bother men when we say that. Like, men are not built the same way as women. So when women always say black men in hospice and all of that, I mean, a lot of y'all would be more him. First of all, black women, no matter how old black women are, black women can watch kids. There's a lot of things black women can do, even if they're just there just by actual presence, which doesn't get talked about, by the way. But, you know, you hear women saying that because they're upset. But at the end of the day, men accept that. That's part of manhood. Like, we understand what our utility is. Women don't understand that. That's why they think that's a dig. But appreciate the $20. But my point is, you see how even I've only listened to her a minute. But she's the one that has the fixed beliefs. She literally said, well, even though 78, most black men vote for Kamala, you know, just off the way she's presenting the argument, that don't mean we got allies. And it's like, yo, what would actually qualify in your world? I want you to paint me a picture of what black men aligned with black women looks like. And I promise you, it'll come off like some super gynocratic, matriarchal, slave-ass shit. I promise you. I promise you what she's saying would not reflect any other community, including Jewish people. Let's keep going.
And I'm going to talk about the ones that are not. The reason why this election changed nothing for me and many other black women is because we were divested from y'all way before this election. This has nothing to do with the election. If the election never happened, the gender divide, the red pill versus the modern woman, that crap would still be going on. Because don't forget that black men as a group, not individually, as a group, have been disparaging black women since the dawn of time.
That's a lie. That's not true. That's not true. I can look at her age. She looks like she's in her 30s. She may be in her late 20s, early 30s. Before 2008. Before 2008. Definitely before YouTube. But it would start in 2005. But I'll give the cutoff 2008. You would be hard pressed to find you would hard pressed to find anything that black men were really saying about black women. Why do you think Shahrazad Ali's book, you know, diary, like How to Understand a Black Woman, was such a, oh man, because she was the only one saying it. So in her mind, from 2008 to 2024, so we're talking about what, 16 years? Yeah, 16 years. She's talking about 16 years. What about the talk show circuit? What about black men on the down low? All black men are in prison. We can literally show you footage of black women talking shit about black men going all the way back to 1986. We can go before that. We can talk shit of black women not liking black men being referenced RIP, I forget the dude's name that did Darth Vader's voice. We got books that's talking about the dark ghetto. Like we can reference y'all talking shit about us. We have documented evidence. You all don't have evidence of us really clowning y'all out really past 2008. Not really. Unless you want to count hip-hop music that, by the way, blew up because you all liked it. So what are we going to do? We're going to count West Coast music now? Because truth be told, the New York music wasn't really doing that. That kind of bitch hoe shit, that's that really got popularized in the West Coast thing at night. So that's what we doing. The same music we all listen to. We going to use that. I mean, you got to really reach. So, but in her mind, it's just been going on. I graduated high school in 2005. So this has probably been going on a couple, not even a full half of your life. So again, this is the narratives that they have of what's going on. That's why she mentioned the red pill directly. The red pill is like 12 years old, not even that long. Oh. Like seriously, in her mind, this is just what it's always been. But if I say get rid of the internet, what is this conversation you're having? She can't tell me. I can tell her though. Anyway.
Ever since social media was
again
out for us, black men have been getting on social media and disparaging the entire F out of black women and girls. Dark-skinned black women.
Again, what did I just say? I haven't seen this video. What did I just tell you? She said social media. Social media has generations. Like the iPhone came out in 2008. The first iPhone. The Sidekick was like 11. Like really the Evo and all of that. The transitions between Palm Pilots, Blackberries and all that. The social media as you know it. Instagram I think got started. Yeah, we doing fact checks like immediately. Shout out to ChatGPT, and I got the free version. Instagram launched in 2010, and then it got bought by Facebook for $1 billion in 2012. So really, Instagram really is the Instagram you know. So Instagram, so we 2010, but really 12. I said, when did the first iPhone come out? The first iPhone, like I said, June 29th, 2007. So roughly 2008. And remember, Facebook wasn't available. It launched in 2008, but it was only available to college kids. So the internet, as you know it, the video version of the internet, when this infrastructure got built enough to house video as you see it, took a long time to really get to where it was. That was 15 more. That was like 15, 16. And remember, that was beyond a short video. And the T-Mobile Sidekick came up in 2002, but the T-Mobile Sidekick, as you know it, was more 2010. So my point is, when she says social media, she's basically talking about, if I'm going to get real early, 2010. She's really talking about 2012, 2013. Which remember, 2012 is Obama's second term. Or 2013 was Obama's 12, 13, Obama's second term. I want you to really understand this. And this is not me. Like, I just pulled this. I literally just saw this video probably 15 minutes before I went live. I saw where she was going and like looking at it for 10 seconds. I said, yeah, I'm going to talk to y'all. And I'm just in front of my computer right now doing this. Because I want y'all to really understand, like, in her mind, it's always been ever since social media. Now, that bullshit about black girls, that's a lie. Black men don't give a fuck about black females under 18. We are not talking about black girls. Black men are talking about dating and mating, and that has nothing to do with black girls. Like, I don't know why they keep on lumping black girls in. Like, our stuff is really, if you look, and this is how you know, if you look at social media from like 17 down, for them, that's why they getting so retarded. It's just now starting to penetrate 16, 17, 18-year-olds as far as the Andrew Tate and stuff like that with motivation, get money and all of that. Most of them dudes are not necessarily into what we're talking about. Some of them are, but most of them aren't. And that's a relatively recent thing with like Kevin Samuels and all the reaction channels, even outside of the space. There's like just viral reaction channels jumping in a couple of years ago. But before that, this was not something that really penetrated, you know, a 16, 17 year old, like those folks still in high school. It didn't. I know some of y'all did come across this at first, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't, y'all are like unique folks. You are, because if we didn't have young folks except for Stephen Code and a couple of people doing that. So when they keep talking about black girls, which I'm assuming she's talking younger than that, that is bullshit. That is bullshit. That's not true. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. And I would challenge her to show me where the fucking content, when you see black boys referring to this, like anybody 16 and younger or 16 or 17 making content like this. Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. But again, the narrative. This is, I'm a victim. You're victimizing me. That's why I hate you.
Overweight black women, too skinny black women, women with no ass, we're masculine, we can't be led, we can't. Black
men are not. These are just insecurities. The overweight problem is a problem because okay. The overweight problem gets brought up because you all are asking why. The overweight problem gets brought up because the argument is, why do black men date outside their race? That's where that argument even begins. We date outside because y'all are in our business about dating outside, because y'all can be divested, but somehow we can't. So then it's like, y'all too fat. Y'all, all the stuff you just said is, as far as the no ass shit, shut the fuck up. Stop it. Ain't nobody making videos talking about black. Number one, making videos about black women having no ass don't even make money. So there's no incentive to do it. It don't make money. You just don't deal with them. What are we talking about? Overweight? Well, niggas are tired of that shit, and and this is why niggas date outside their race. So that becomes when you ask that. The argument with that is how black men need to just accept overweight women. That's that take me as I am bullshit. As far, what else was this bitch talking about?
And we're not feminine.
Y'all aren't. Like, I don't know. Y'all aren't. Tell me a group of women that are more masculine than y'all. I'll wait. I mean, even though this chick is talking like she got some sense, from a communication standpoint. Seriously. Like, what the fuck? Like, so we just are. Black women go out of their way. I need a man that can handle me. There's other groups of women that say it from time to time. Rogue chicks. But only black women say that. Only black women say, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man. I still don't hear other women saying it. Sure, they may think it. They don't say it. Like, there are certain things that uniquely y'all do. I don't know why what you doing?
We won't submit. Your baby mom, single baby mamas. I mean, y'all have disparaged us in every possible way. So this election changed nothing. I've been divested from a black man for quite a while. And
my thing is, notice how she keeps saying disparage. Notice how she said none of it. You know what's funny? She keeps on using the term disparage, but is it true though? Is it true though? You know what she ain't said? She never said it wasn't true. She didn't say we didn't lie on you. So when you call it disparaging, we're telling you are real fucking problems. And by the way, these problems show up no matter what men you talk about. Why are we the least desired? It's because of racism. It's part of it, but it's all these list of things. Well, why are you disparaging us? Okay. This is why we're like, if you can't be this for us, then y'all need to be this for somebody else. Notice how she never said it wasn't true. Notice how she never said y'all lying on us. Y'all not telling the truth. Why are y'all just making stuff up? Why are y'all they never say that. They never say that. What they say is we're disparaging you. We're making well, if it's true, it don't matter. You know, when I coach supervisors, when I coach people, I wish somebody would tell me I'm disparaging them. I'm like, yo, I'm showing you the evidence. I'm showing you the behavior that's creating this number that you gonna fucking change, or somebody else is gonna get fucking slotted in. Shout out to She Hate Me with the $5, much appreciated. Make sure y'all support the Cash App. Shout out to Nate for the $1 as well. Shout out to Mr. Noble. You know, I won't put your full name out there with the $5 from yesterday. Okay, my cap cut. Okay. Yeah. No, they never say it's not true. Ma'am, is it true though? Is it true though? Well, y'all don't need, is it true though? And then this argument that black men have disparaged them, it's still not even on a Richter scale how much black women has caused actual harm and actual damage to black men. Like, y'all call the police, like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's not even calculable when it comes to how y'all get on these megaphones and y'all talk crazy to us. Even in this whole election cycle, how comfortable, motherfuckers are not that comfortable talking crazy to black women like that, but everybody seems to be comfortable talking crazy to us, to the point where even white people have to acknowledge that shit. So no, y'all are not the most disrespected. We are. Especially when it comes to people willing to just tell straight up lies. Let's go. 2 minutes in.
There are women who've been divested from black men for decades, way before this election. So I just want to send a reminder to you that you voting for Kamala changed nothing. We know that deep down you're still not our allies. And I say that because we know that no matter how you voted, when you leave that voting booth, you're still going to be lying. You're still going to...
I want to know, when you say divested, what does that mean? Divested usually means you're somewhere else. Because does that mean you're on your own? Because if that's what it means, then that means, so basically, I'm strong, independent, don't need no man is a divestment creed. That's what that is. Oh, I want you, but I don't need you. Why? Nobody else says that. So now that I'm thinking about it, I need to start revisiting what does that actually mean that you all are making a declaration that you're strong and that's a divested mean? Was that the I'm divested before divestment? Oh man, you might have gave me an idea because I never thought about that. Because if that's the case, that means shit. Y'all been wilding out for a long time. I actually might change the fucking title of this video. I'm strong and I need, so basically I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man was basically the precursor to just saying straight up, I'm divested for you dumb niggas that don't understand coded language. Woo! Press 1 in there if you agree. I need to make a poll on that.
Be cheating. You're still going to be deadbeat fathers. You're still going to be gaslighting women, putting women's health at risk, putting your hands and feet on.
First of all, as far as cheating, you bitches cheat. Women cheat more than men, and women have cheated more than men for a while. Now, y'all may be talking about the niggas y'all all want to fuck. That don't count. But if we talk about straight up group to group on men, women to women, y'all cheat way more than men cheat. Y'all keep talking about cheating like y'all loyal. Y'all are not loyal. I don't understand why y'all keep saying that. Y'all are not loyal your damn self. So y'all don't have that cheating bullshit is absolute bullshit. We have been through Maury Povich. Now you got, what's his name? Steve Kuko or Steve Lucko. How many chicks did have been, you are not the father. You are not the father. Don't even get me started on paternity fraud. Don't even get me started on paternity fraud. Y'all actively lying to a nigga every day. Telling him he's the dad, knowing he ain't the dad, letting him build a bond with a child. That is some evil shit. But y'all do it. You talk about putting hands and feet on people. Get out of here. Y'all violent. Y'all just as violent. Get out of here. Y'all just as violent. Again. No, I haven't seen Divest vs. World Wars. My point is, in her mind, you're perfect, men are bad. You're good, men are bad. So your perception of yourself is predicated on your narrative of some other group.
Women, right? You're still going to be doing this as a group. So your vote means nothing. And I personally don't give a damn if 100% of all black men voted for Kamala. We've divested.
You heard that? You heard that? I did not watch this video. I swear on my mom, I watched only 10, 15 seconds of this video. She said, if you, I know the type. If you voted for 100% of black men, and that's cool. Don't ask us for nothing. You're divested. I wish all of y'all would have a fucking tattoo or something we can identify. I wish y'all would identify yourselves. But we know what that is. Because when y'all need something from a nigga, all of a sudden you're timber. I want you to remember this when these bitches come back. Accountable Commentary came out with the term to reach back. Remember this. Remind people of this. Because a lot of these chicks asking black men for help, they listen to this content. They partake in it. They don't fight it. And they ain't listen to Shay Sade. They ain't listen to Crimson Cure, Danica Marie, Reva. They're not listening to them. I'm just a girl. No, they're listening to these. This chick is named Sovereign Woman. They listen to these motherfuckers. And then turn around and have a black boyfriend. And then turn around and think a black man's supposed to save you when a white dude is beating your ass.
And it just is what it is. And I'm only speaking about the smart black women who are interested in self-preservation. The mammies, the boy moms, and I'm not talking about mothers of sons. Those are two different things. The mammies, the boy moms, the doormats, the pick-me's, y'all can have them. We don't claim them anyways. Go after those women. The women who are interested in keeping themselves safe, their kids safe, and living the best possible, healthy, happy life are staying away from you. Now, if you're still a woman that's still interested in finding this, like,
you know what I laugh? She keeps saying kids. So who the fuck you having kids with? And why aren't you married to that motherfucker? Oh, because you still need to source men for sperm. Y'all still sourcing men for sperm, which is why y'all niggas need to stop giving it to them. Y'all still clearly need niggas for something. Talk about happy, healthy with kids. You see how in her mind, the stork gave her a kid? And then this argument about mammies divested, all of that, because, black men are bad. And the thing is, in these chicks' minds, every other race, any other race of men that does something in them, that doesn't count. That doesn't register. It just doesn't register. That's why they don't talk about it. And I want you to pay attention how she's calm, cool, collected, saying this bullshit. And these women that be listening to this shit, you think they ain't dealing with niggas? These bitches are not fucking non-black men like that. And if they are, you know why? You know why I know that? Because if they, look, I get that they are fucking non-black men, but the reality is these dudes are not giving them money. You think Hispanic men are spending money on, like, look, if you're an 8, 9, or 10, that's different. You're universally attractive. You think for the 6s, the 7s, the 5s, the Hispanic men are spending money on them? Unless they're like maybe Afro-Latina in that code, but even then, you think the white guys are spending money on them? Let's go.
I don't know, American dream lifestyle or whatever fairy tale y'all are after, your best bet is to hop the fence. And y'all know what that means. Now, I still stand by my previous statements, when I say that men are men. We live in a patriarchy. I don't give a damn what race or culture you get your man.
We don't live in a patriarchy. He who controls it, he who controls the kids controls the society, and that's a problem. So again, these chicks, this is where this intersectionalism, all this bullshit comes from. He who controls the kids controls the society. We don't live in a patriarchy. The men that you quote unquote are calling patriarchs are like top 15, top 10, 5% men economically. They can take a lot of hits, and then we know you're gonna spend the money. But other than that, we do not live in a patriarchy. So that right there is how you know she's delusional. We live in a in their mind, we live in a patriarchy because men can sleep with a whole bunch of women. That has nothing to do with a patriarchy. In a matriarchy, men can sleep with a whole bunch of women too. When you all source for the same genetic template, that has nothing to do with patriarchy and matriarchy. That has everything to do with y'all picking men and y'all wanting to share men. They call them wanting to share men living in the pay. No, she's got a channel. Shout out to Watch with the $5. I respect the hell out of you. Bet we need to stop talking about this. The majority of sisters, not all, have made their choice. They have. They may not be smart enough to tell you because they still want to draw in stuff from you. And that's why they keep on pushing the guilt. If black women were really 110 and 30% done with your ass 100%, you know what? They would just be indifferent with you and not talk to you. But what are they still doing? They still talk about how they need black men, how black men, and they say it in a way of what you ain't doing. These chicks are still interacting with you to tell you what you ain't doing because they still want to source energy from you. Because black women are only 7% of the population. It's more than enough other men that can pick them up if they really wanted to bounce.
You're still going to be dealing with men. But what I am saying is that you have a much higher chance of possibly finding what you're looking for by hopping the fence. If you stay in the black community, in my personal opinion, based on my observation 40 years.
Okay.
Your
So this chick is 40 years old. So she looks young. She looks young for her age. I said 30. She's 40 years old. She's 40. So she's an older millennial. And you can clearly tell she hasn't had these conversations with anybody else. Dudes, these are, you know, we have no problem. You notice how we have no problem doing the back and forth, the clauses and addendums with other women if we have to. The women, they need to stay in their silos. That's because their reality is only predicated. It's just like WandaVision. You walk your ass out of that fucking wall, that Wanda wall, everything's falling apart. Visions for all of it's falling apart because it's not real. Our shit is real, which is why the women are always worried about what we're doing. You see these chicks, they never talk about how worrying about passport bros. You've never seen these chicks say, why are y'all talking about passport bros? Let these men be another bitch's problem. That's good. We need black men to stop dealing with black women. We want this. We want you all to leave. Please leave. Please leave us alone. Please leave us alone. Yes, I support passport bros. You ain't heard ne'er bitch say that, including divestors, because they know when the men leave, the resources are leaving. And they know ain't nobody else really fucking with them like that as far as giving them money. They may fuck them, but they are not spending money on them like black men is. And even though they don't think it's enough, that's still what they got. You ain't never heard black women celebrate black men dating outside their race, because that means other women will learn about how bad black men are, and eventually other women will hate black men like they hate them. You never hear that. They never bet it all on, I know this nigga ain't shit. I know these niggas ain't shit. So I need other women to deal with them so these women can realize these bastard baby making niggas ain't shit. So they never do. You have never heard that. What you have heard is we are, by dating outside our race, it is a violent act against women. By us going overseas, what is it? You're lame, you're a loser, you're that. All these things is designed to say you need to stay here and deal with me to prove who you are as a man. You have never heard that. You never hear these chicks. You don't ever hear kerosene. You'll never hear these chicks check other women. You complain about passport bros, that's pick-me behavior. You complain about a black man, a young nigga like Bronny or whoever dating a white chick, it's pick-me behavior. Why are you a pick-me? Stop being a pick-me. Let these niggas do what these niggas do so all these other women can realize how fucked up these niggas are. You never hear that no matter what. Trying to see Yo, Shira 7, fucking B. Taylor. You have never heard these chicks do that. But what they will do is a whole bunch of gaslighting, a whole bunch of acting like they your friend, Courtney Michelle, a whole bunch of chameleon behavior, because they still see you as an energy source. They need you for sperm. They need you for economic, the little you have. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. This is a 4-year-old, and she ain't even busted. That's what makes that so bad. These chicks can't reconcile with who they are. And so they got to create these little narratives so they can deal with it.
Chances of finding that is 0. 1.5% maybe. And if you have...
We are more married than they are, but they keep saying that. The chances of finding that is 0 in the black community. The richest man alive, the richest black man in America is married to a black woman. Beyonce's married to it. Like, what are you talking about? Black men are more married than black women. I bet you these same chicks won't talk about mammy behavior. You notice how these chicks always call chicks mammies, but they never do videos on mammy behavior? You notice that? They never do videos saying you sex trafficking prisoners. You did. Like, you notice how nobody's calling Sky Jackson a mammy. Sky Jackson is a man. No, that's not the narrative. The narrative is Sky Jackson don't know what her value is. And it's so unfortunate this Sky Jackson doesn't know what she's worth. And she's getting with this hood booger, YN bullet bag, light-skinned crackhead. She's a victim. Not that Sky Jackson needs to stop being a little pick-Misha bitch and needs to stop fucking being a mammy and slumming it with the hard ERs. You never hear that. Do you? All these TikToks, and you ain't never seen these chicks come down on these chicks. You never hear these divestors come down on these black women to deal with these hood. You never hear them say Summer Walker is a hood booger. If you like men with throat tattoos, you're an animal. You never hear that. They just point at what the black man did, as if these niggas are these niggas don't even look like, they act like these bitches are ghosts, where they look the part and then they just switch up on your ass. No, these niggas got protect. Let me talk these.
The fence and go outside, your chances is probably 10 or 15%. Still not very much, but the point that I'm making is you still have a much higher chance going over there than you do here. That's my own personal opinion. Nothing y'all say is ever going to change that, because I've been on this earth for almost a half a century. I've seen shit. I've heard shit. I know that history is just going to repeat itself and things will not get better.
Yeah, she just don't like men. That's what that is. This is clearly a chick that has had relationships. They have failed. And it's everybody's fault but hers. And like I said, you know, for her to be in her age, she actually is not bad. Makeup, all that. That's all that. This is a bitter woman that just, you know, she's kind of like Count Dooku with it. And it's fine. You know, I appreciate her saying this, communicating this. And also understand, Shira 7, 40s, all these chicks in their 40s, women are fucking stupid to be listening to these chicks. Because these chicks, you're never going to hear accountability from them. You're just not. Yeah, it's not. I'll share the video with you so you can see what they look like. Compassionate, what she looks like. I mean, she ain't ugly. Her name's a sovereign woman. And then what happens is you get into social media and then you get this feedback loop of you getting money, you getting engagement, you're getting positive reinforcement on your worldview. So what happens is you start to become more hardened on your worldview.
Better. It just is what it is. Black women in particular, for hundreds of years, have been speaking life into black men, have been holding them down, have been their ride or dies, right? Have not called the cops even when they should. And I am a huge advocate for, if he put his hands on you or threaten you, lock him up in the cage where he belongs.
These are the niggas you all are sexually attracted to. You all have been dealing with hood booger ass niggas, YNs as y'all like to call them, thuggo niggas, NBA YoungBoy type, yerky types. Like, this is what you all do, and you all call that holding them down. You all are not dealing with good men. You all are not dealing with men that are upwardly mobile. You all are not dealing with those men. And then now you're gonna equate a dude cheating once or twice with him beating the fuck out you. That's why they always, notice how they say cheat, this. There is no perfect man. Like she said, a man is a man. And at the end of the day, maybe you need to reevaluate what the fuck value you bring into the table. Because at the end of the day, cheating is just pussy. Well, it's just dick. The difference is a man has a tangible investment in you. That's the difference. That's the difference. Y'all not taking care of niggas. Niggas will take, well, some of y'all do. So again, now all of this traumatic bullshit y'all deal with because y'all fucking with niggas that everybody tell y'all not to fuck with. Now all of a sudden y'all got this bitterness, and every black man are the niggas that you were imprinted by. Every black man are not the niggas you all got imprinted by. Or if you're not dealing with straight up hood boogers, what you're dealing with is you're dealing with fucking, you know, y'all like to call them narcissistic men, which are really men that their value completely eclipses yours on the marketplace. So they ain't really got to deal with your shit either. So you all, let me tell you what patriarchy is to black women. Patriarchy is to black women is when black women have no leverage. That's what patriarchy is to black women. When black women have no leverage on a man, because at the end of the day, he may like dealing with you, but ultimately he can do better than you, and you know it, that is patriarchy to black women. And so what black women do, let me give you a perfect example. Y'all may not think this is true. I don't care. Take the DDG and Haley Bailey example. It makes absolutely no sense to DDG that Haley Bailey had a kid with DDG. Not necessarily with DDG, but in this time. People keep talking about, oh, well, you know, Haley Bailey and in her career and all of that. They try to say the same shit about Sky Jackson. Sky Jackson ain't getting no damn parts like that. Sky Jackson's career ain't really been moving like that. She may do the commercial here and there. She may get a little sponsorship here and there, but for the most part, her career ain't been moving. Her career ain't really been moving since like really 2020. But nobody's going to say that. You know, we because you see her on TV, you assume they have money. Most of these people ain't got money like you would think. You know, Haley Bailey got more. This is why I kept telling y'all, Haley Bailey and DDG are equally yoked as far as money. People can say, you know, she's one check away, so she probably, yeah, if she gets the part, then, you know, there's no reason she won't. But the reality of the situation is that Haley Bailey had a kid with DDG. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. This is my theory. Is she wanted to consummate that relationship because she wanted to make herself the prime bitch. So no matter who, DDG is about to do a collab with Angel Reese. You know, Angel Reese is obviously a basketball player. There's a height difference. I may do a video on this. And if you look at how Angel Reese was interacting with DDG, I've had those interactions with women. You know how women put you in this little pocket dimension that they, oh, I fuck with you, so whatever's going on around that don't matter. You're in the in club in her mind. And dudes don't be understanding that because in their mind, oh, you a short nigga. That shouldn't happen. So they look for reasons. What's up, Nate? So at the end of the day, yeah, and if you look at how Angel Reese, because DDG's 26, Angel Reese is 22. Angel Reese was looking at him. Angel Reese was not talking to him like she's his superior. That is not how she was talking to him at all. And I get it's one interaction, but you can tell in the interaction. And she was asking him for a collab. Meaning she looks at him as her. Not necessarily he can talk crazy to her or anything like that. But you can tell where her hierarchy is in her head with how she deals with it. Now, am I saying that she would date DDG? Probably not. She has her type. But from a social media standpoint, she definitely sees DDG, at least at this point, is greater than her. And obviously, he makes more money. Because the only money, yes, Angel has gotten a couple of sponsorships that she just got. But see, y'all people see DDG as just a nigga on YouTube. They don't really see all the other stuff he does and the money that comes along with that. They don't see that. So at the end of the day, I told y'all, Haley consummated that. Now, I'm going to tell you, who you think is more known right now? You think Haley Bailey's more known? You think Angel Reese is more known? I'd argue Angel Reese is more known in the black community than Haley Bailey, and I make an argument that more white people know who can actually point out Angel Reese and they can't Haley Bailey. Even if the ones that don't like Angel Reese.
I don't give a damn what race he is, okay? He belongs in the cage. Doesn't matter to me, right? When women have been...
Well, no, but... I already know what she's going to say, condition.
Taken up for y'all, hiding your sexual abuse of children and all this stuff for hundreds of years. And now we...
First of all, y'all abuse kids too, and I make an argument y'all abuse kids more. It's just abusing sons don't count. Abusing young men don't count because he's a man and you're a woman. So this bullshit about y'all abusing children. Number two, most of the motherfuckers that abuse children when y'all bring stepfathers into the situation because you all want a man to give you some help. This is the bullshit y'all don't say. That's what I get tired of. Even with this situation with this trophy wife chick, apparently that dude is black. So you know I don't support that. But you dealing with an old ass nigga that you basically forced yourself in that relationship. That's pretty much what you did. Like at the end of the day, you know, y'all keep talking about all this negative thing like y'all, as if y'all are not involved. All of this, men are putting their hands on you. Men put their hands on women because women put their hands on them first. This is why lesbian relationships are the most violent. You keep talking about somebody needs to be in a cage. Bitch, I don't disagree. But at the end of the day, understand, you put your hands fucking on me, I'm going to finish it. Y'all act like niggas just be getting mad and just be hauling off and knocking your ass out. Or y'all say y'all be doing some evil shit. Y'all act like men are just waking up and just hitting your ass cause you, and even if I go with what you say out your mouth, y'all be saying shit to provoke a reaction. That's why your mama dead, motherfucker. Or y'all be trying to pour out somebody's ashes or something. And then if you get your ass beat, now you want to tell a story about men that's beating on you.
Finally reach this century. And y'all are up against a bunch of black women who are ready to or have already left y'all behind. Y'all are on your own. Y'all had every opportunity since y'all been...
Again, this chick is 40-something. This chick is 40-something years old. Talking this shit. All this thing. Basically, so that them, again, it's not they're arguing. She is arguing with her own blackness. That's what she's arguing with. She's arguing with her own blackness. And this is important because you'll have a chick like this and then you'll have dudes like, why don't she want to talk? Oh, she like dudes that they tell their own. These chicks do. It's not about you, my nigga. She don't want to be black no more. And in her mind, attacking you is how she attacks her own blackness without attacking herself.
alive and since social media to rectify this situation, to actually care and give a damn about your women and girls, but y'all chose not to.
Yeah, your women and girls, but you chose not to. That's what it is. Give a damn about your women and girls. This is somebody just projecting her own failures and her own relationships on all black men. This is somebody, these women are single mothers not because black women chose to take the check over the man. It's because black men just abandoned us. This chick is 40 something years old. She's not too far from being an Xer. You know what I think about Xers are? She might be like a bleeding. That means she's a bleeding edge Xer. Meaning she got this deep rooted, deep seated hatred for men. It's all men's fault. Bitch, it's the nigga's fault you were sexually attracted to and the niggas you chose to deal with. And just because them niggas didn't pan out because do what the fuck you wanted them to do, now everybody's fucked up. This is why I wish y'all motherfuckers would just leave. And then meanwhile, you got these hoes come trying to do the reach back. Yeah, talk about our women and our girls. What about the boys? But they don't care about that. Basically, this chick is basically you niggas didn't support the matriarchy the way we think it should be supported, but I'm going to call it a patriarchy anyway.
There is absolutely nothing the black men, white men, black women, Indian women, no human being on the planet will ever succeed at changing my mind about what I am saying. I am never going
to keep saying this shit because you have a lot of goofy ass niggas that I promise you listens to her shit. You have a lot of goofy ass niggas that probably subscribe to her that keep on wanting to save her. You niggas are dumb. Your energy would be better served dealing with other motherfuckers. Your energy would be better served
to apologize for it. If you hear me say I'm sorry, I'm saying I'm sorry that I'm not sorry. It just is what it is. I mean what I'm saying. I'm never taking it back. I'm never walking this back.
She keeps saying this. And it's because you probably got other women and don't say that. It's okay. You look like you're good. No. Move on. Y'all niggas keep, oh man, she just mad. She don't mean it. Shut up. She's brown skinned. I'll show you a picture. I'll put her face in the image.
That is not all black women. There's plenty of pick there. I am not speaking for all black women. I am only speaking for the women who...
There's, and it's like, have you ever taken into consideration that maybe you're bitter? This is what bitter is. Notice how I'm giving you specific things. I've been giving you specific counters in real time to what she's talking about. This is a narrative. Because if it ain't black men's fault, then that means it's their fault. And it can't be their fault.
Have high self-esteem, who actually gives a damn about themselves, and who actually wants to self-preserve. That is not all black women. There's plenty of pick-me doormats and mammies out there who are willing to keep putting themselves on the altar of sacrifice and leaving this earth early and getting beat up and getting their ass whooped and all that. There's plenty of them. Leave us alone. So I just wanted to make that very clear, that if we were not fucking with y'all before the election, we're still not effing with y'all after the election. So get over it. Have a nice day.
Yeah. You dealing with a 40-year-old chick, you know. They not. And this is why she look like she like 40-something years old, still fucking working. And I'm not even trying to play her or get petty. I'm just trying to be absolutely for real about it. You have people that have their narratives, and they need their narratives, man. They can't live without those narratives, yo. They just can't, because their psyches are based on what those narratives are. Because if it's not all your fault, if it's not all your fault, then whose fault is it? And they can't face that reality. They just can't. They just can't. And that's what I be telling y'all, man. And again, you know, I just thought because the way she said it, and again, we're talking about a chick that's what, 42, 43, maybe between 40, 43. So that means, you know, she was born in like 80, 84, 83. And so, yeah, that's that extra shit. Yeah, that's really what it is. And so they sit here and they create this narrative that, you know, again, and here's another thing. When she talks about social media, it's like, yo, no, men have been muzzled this whole time. And all this shit, like for instance, she grew up during the I want you to understand something. She grew up during the stepdaddy era. So I guess that don't count as far as black men holding black women down when black women were fucking these fucking drug dealers, and then these dudes went to jail. Y'all spent the money. Now y'all need help with these bastard kids. That don't count. For her, life starts in 2010 or 2012. Then she want to talk about all this evil shit that men do to bitch. Y'all do this shit too. What about all these kids y'all putting on niggas that it ain't they kid? I guess that don't count. See, in their mind, black women are only victims. Black women are never victimizers. There's nothing they do that's ever wrong. And if they do something that's wrong, oh, they're only doing it wrong because they're really trying to defend themselves from the evil patriarchy. This is why you don't really hear black people even mention a word patriarchy like that. Because then if you mention that shit too many times, now you got to justify its existence. And you really can't. This is why you don't even hear your academics talk about patriarchy. Because they can't judge. They know it don't exist like that. So what they do is they play keep away. Because once you open certain doors, then there's certain questions you have to answer. And when you realize you can't answer, oh, okay. So yeah, I'll be on art, be playing some videos. But yeah, just like this Sky Jackson shit. You know, she's picked, like, I never hear that pick Misha shit, because we know you deal with these niggas because you're sexually turned on by these niggas. So the issue is not where you're a pick Misha. See, the issue is your own sexual attraction. But we can't never have that conversation because that requires some level of accountability. And the reality is just because you say what niggas, like they keep talking about the niggas, oh man, these niggas be beating our ass as if every black man got some black female bodies that we done knock these bitches out on. It's bullshit. Anyway, I actually gotta go. Do I wanna? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll be back. Since I'm already live, might as well. Bullshit. It's always this pick. You know, these niggas, oh my God, they're beating our ass. They're doing this, they're doing that. If you dealing with niggas that are beating your ass, bitch, you like your ass whooped. I don't care what you say. Because it's all these niggas, as if every man that you like beats your ass. Which is a complete fucking fabrication of what actually happens. So anyway, y'all, yeah. If y'all want to continue this conversation, I'm gonna be on. If y'all want to continue this conversation, I'm gonna be on art. But I don't want to make this on art. But I don't want to make this video too long. Just keep it on topic. I'm probably gonna pull this video down because I need to switch something real quick on it. But yeah, I'll put, you know, pull up the video, all that. So y'all got a few minutes to check it out. If y'all are still behind, and yeah, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. Behind, and yeah, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.